So, what's up, everyone? It's Marco from Hero and Legend and Milwaukee Brewers Nation. But right now, I want to talk about. I just read Mike Tyson and Roy Jones are going to fight. They came back. They're coming out of retirement to fight. Now, what I don't get now is that they signed this new contract, and it's going to be 8 rounds, which they agreed upon in the beginning. It's going to be 8 rounds now, but at first they said it was going to be a 8 round exhibition fight without headgear. I'm like, why don't you just keep the fight without headgear? What's up, everyone that's watching? Everyone's waving hi, I wave back. Anyway, so why don't they keep the fight the same, keep it without headgear? Because I was excited about it. I was ready to see Mike Tyson get ferocious and atrocious on this guy. He's going to get Roy Jones. He's going to eat his heart. He's going to do all that. Now, Mike Tyson impression is not that great right now, but that's me just doing a dry run. But anyway, I want to know, like, why do they got to do that? And they're like, oh, for the safety of the fighters. If the fighters agreed on it in the first place, why are they, like, getting in their head? That's what I hate. Like, these dudes are grown-ass men. They're both getting buff as shit right now. Like, they're buffer than, like, even me. I'm a younger guy. They're, like, buffer than me. I'm like, what? These dudes are beasts. But, like, seriously, even with headgear, I think Mike Tyson is going to still knock Roy Jones out. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know. And I also think if they're going to wear headgear now and they're going to do this real exhibition thing, boxers and fighters do that all the time. They do it for free. So why don't you guys get like on NBC or something? I got to get the lighting better. Get on NBC or something like that, or have NBC or ABC or one of these big networks. Why don't they pay for it? Or ESPN. Just put on ESPN so everyone can watch it and be like, oh, look, Mike Tyson's whooping the shit out of Roy Jones. And don't get me wrong, Roy Jones is a legend and everything. I just think Roy Jones is not a Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson and him are like the same frame, basically, but not the same frame, but like the same size, I think, like 5'10", 5'11". I think they're both around that height. And it's just like some people, it can be the same height, but it's just some people are more ferocious. Like, bless you! Some people are more ferocious. Someone was sneezing. Some people are just more ferocious, even though they're the same size as you. They're just more ferocious. And Mike is a killer, man. And Roy Jones, he was like that fighter who threw them little fast punches. Like, he'd be like, shh, 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 shh. He does that every time he throws punches. See, man, I run out of breath doing that. But anyway, I hate fighters that do that. Like, Floyd does that shit. And Roy Jones does that shit. They just win on points. And I mean, I know it's like, it's not pretty to get hit. Yeah, it's not pretty for the boxer, but it's freaking entertaining as shit for the fans. And like, I always knew that it was always like what people like. They like the brawling. They like the fighting. And that's what Tyson did. Tyson would bring that ferocity to all the fights, and that's why people love the guy. And plus, he's from the hood. You know, people that grew up rough, they can relate to Tyson. And Tyson can relate to people as well, because you can always see this guy interact with the fans on YouTube and shit. He's always like, oh my God, you know, it's just a blessing to have the fans. It's great. It's like, man, it's awesome that someone can relate with people and they all get along. But, you know, that's how it is. So anyway, I just really don't agree, like I said, with this whole thing now. Now they're wearing the headgear. I mean, they're both ex-pro fighters. They get a license for one night. Let them freaking fight without headgear. They already are knowing that they're going to fight. They know they're going to get hit. I mean, just let it happen. And, I mean, let them take the risk. They're getting paid, right? So if we got to pay to see it also, I'm like, I don't want headgear on the guys. Let the fight just happen. Anyway, happy Thursday night. I don't even know why I started talking about this, but, I mean, I used to box. I like boxing. Well, boxing was better when I was a kid. But now that I'm an adult, it's like you got all these guys who are like, I want to get paid big money, but they don't want to fight each other. They don't want to take risks. A lot of these guys, in my opinion, are just a bunch of, like, prima donnas that think that they're better than they really are. Because I tell you, if they faced even like the sorry guys from like the era of like the Floyd Mayweather era, and I'm not talking the Money Mayweather, I'm talking Pretty Boy Floyd, of that era, these guys who were like the guys that Mayweather, you know, was moving up in the ranks with, they would not last. They just wouldn't. They're not tough. They're not durable now. They're not tough. They don't come from the same kind of, you know, tough, like, I don't know, they're just not. They don't got it. I mean, they're great in their own way, but they're just not. It's not the same. And I never thought I'd think like that. But then now with MMA coming in, MMA is so popular. MMA is so much more entertaining because you have so much more to deal with. Boxing is great for what it is. Like, you got two exciting guys. You know, it's going to be a great fight. Like when we had Golovkin and Canelo, the first fight was great. But it wasn't really great on the fact that, because I wasn't really a Canelo fan back then. Never really been a Canelo fan. But it was just like a robbery that Golovkin, and I knew it was going to happen like that. I knew they were going to rob Golovkin. Golovkin did enough to win. And then they gave it to freaking Canelo, and then Canelo comes back in the rematch. Where I thought he did fight better, but he didn't. He didn't dominate. I still thought Golovkin. I think a lot of the commentators and people that were watching thought that he did enough to win, and I was like, yeah, but I know it's not gonna go that way because Canelo's the up and coming guy. Canelo's like, I don't know if he's 30 yet, but still the big guy in boxing is Canelo, because you're always going to have the people that root for someone just because they're Mexican or Puerto Rican. And I like the Latino fighters. I mean, I'm Latino. So, I mean, I'm going to root for the Latino fighter. You're a Mexican fighter, Puerto Rican fighter, Cuban fighter, El Salvadorian fighter, whatever. I'll root for that guy. And it's not like, just like a race thing, but it's just like growing up as a kid, you always rooted for the guy who was Mexican. Or if it was the black guy versus the white guy, you rooted for the black guy. And if it was the white guy versus, like, I don't know, the other white guy, but the white guy was from Yugoslavia, you rooted for the white guy from America. That's just the way everyone was. There wasn't a white guy, at least where I grew up. You're Mexican or you're black, you rooted for the people that were from your race. And nowadays, I don't know if that's politically correct nowadays. I don't know if that'd be a racist thing, but I just think people gravitate to what they know, and that's how it goes. And you can't really blame people for that, right? But anyway, long story short, this whole video, this little live video, was supposed to be about why I disagree with them wearing headgear now for the Tyson and Jones fight, because it's so less entertaining. The fighters can't see everything that's going on. Your peripherals are all messed up, and it's just like, why do that? Just let them fight. They're grown ass men, like I said earlier. Let them do what they got to do. Shout out to the Brewers, still winning 5-2. This is great. It'll be a sweep of the Sox. The Sox just swept the Brewers, so it'll just be paying them back for what they did. But I'm going all over the place. Have a great night. Watch the Roy Jones and Mike Tyson fight live on the internet somewhere for free. And you won't have to watch a real, I don't know. It really is not good that they're going to wear headgear. I don't agree with it. Share this video if you agree, if you love boxing, sports, whatever. I don't know. I talk about all kinds of stuff. This is one of the first live videos I did, and the video got interrupted. Sorry, video got interrupted. Bye.